Hi guys, so let's start. Let me talk a little bit about Payam, and then Payam will tell about himself, his journey, how he cracked the GPAT, and I mean the NIPER JEE, and how he entered into the NIPER JEE, and how he started his journey and all, and then he'll be giving us the tricks and tips about the GPAT, and not only that, he will tell us some booster tips, and he will be talking about all the subjects in basic, okay, to tell you. So this is a technical class as well, and the inspirational class as well from Payam. So just let me tell a brief about Payam, and then he will tell by himself. So right now he is doing MS in pharmacology and toxicology at Naipur Mohalis SAS Nagar, and he did his BPharm from University of Mumbai, HK College of Pharmacy, and he is gold medalist with the CGPI of 9.48, and he even received in many semesters. He even received the CGPA of 10. So, guys, can you believe that we have someone who is the who has multiple achievements on his name, and he worked on multiple projects and published a few articles, not only few, I mean, more than 10 articles, published the book chapter and the book. And, he has received the multiple scholarships for, his achievements before. So, and a lot of things. His CV is around 9 pages. So, let me hand over the mic to Payam so he can tell about himself, and he can describe more better, and he can tell about his journey better, and then he can come to the point. So over to you, Payam.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir, for such a lovely introduction. First of all, a very
Thank you
warm
for
welcome. Yeah.
joining, and thank you everyone for joining.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for being in this session. For the next few hours, I expect कि आप लोग
Yeah,
you
go
all
ahead.
just
Guys, please put yourself on mute.
yeah. So for the next few hours, I just expect you all कि आप लोग सुनो, and then you all can incorporate and inculcate those habits and those strategies into your preparation. Like, so I am Payam, and I am here so that because now there are just 2 months left, right, for the GPAT examination. So many people are in a dilemma that what we have to study, how do we have to revise, what are the points that we should focus upon more, what are the things कि हम ये 2 महीने में करेंगे तो हमारा qualify होगा. So I'll be speaking on 3 different aspects. One is for those who just want to qualify. एक उन लोग के लिए those who want a good rank within 500, top 500, because every year 70,000 students give GPAT. एंड एक वो होगा जिनको टॉप 10 या AIR 1 एम करते हैं. सो मैं तीनों के अकॉर्डिंग कोई ना कोई स्ट्रैटेजी स्प्लिट करके बताऊंगा. So the major agenda is that I had qualified 7 and 8 national level competitive exams. So I wanted to share some of my experiences with all, some of the tricks via which you can eliminate or you can like just get over your fears and conquer your dreams. So I hope we can begin with the session now. I'll be sharing my screen. And if there's any doubts, you all can drop in the comment section right here. And on YouTube, you all can drop your doubts in the comment section. I'll answer them probably at the end, if possible. Yeah, can Ajit sir, could you just allow me to share my screen if that's
I'll keep off everyone. Yes, everyone is on mute now. Nobody can speak except you. Let me make you the co-host. One sec. One second. Yeah, go ahead. Open your screen and go ahead. Share your screen, dear. So,
yeah, is it visible now? क्या screen दिख रहा है आप लोगों को?
yes, it is visible. Payam, go ahead.
Okay, so we'll be beginning with certain common strategies and most important topics for GPAT, right? So firstly, let me start with the presentation. It's not moving. Yeah. So there are certain standard one-time revision books that you need to follow. And since this is the end moment, so if you have already done with certain books, so it's great. Like Piyush is a very good book. Nagma Inamdar is a good book. And Pearson. These are three standard books. Besides this, there is R.C. Gupta and Muhammad Ali. But now, since there are just few months left, so it is really difficult कि आप इन books के पास वापस जा सको. So it's better that if you have made notes, then आप वो notes revise करो, या तो फिर आप मैं कुछ और strategies बताऊंगा, you can follow that. Or there's another book of GPAT at your fingertips. You can also follow that book because उसमें there are tables and charts. So there is a memory called visual memory. Many a times you are able to remember something that is colorful. Many a times आपको वो चीजें ज्यादा जल्दी याद रहती है जो आप अच्छे से देख पाते हो. So that is a good book, GPAT at your fingertips. You can actually rely on that book. Speaking about examinations, so for pharmacy, GPAT is not just the only examination. We have ICT MTech, BITS Pilani, CUET, Manipal, IIT PHU, GAT-B for biotechnology. Then for MBA, there is CAT and MAT. So these are different examinations, AIMS pharmacists that you can opt for and during the tenure, right? So let me begin with the advantages of cracking GPAT. We all are acquainted that GPAT has a GPAT qualify karoge to stipend aayega, and the query of stipend being not released is also now being solved by our honorable president of PCI, Dr. Montu Patel. So the stipend will be continued, not a problem. And those who are GPAT qualified, their doors for NIPER will also open. And they will also get, if they do not qualify NIPER, they can also get admissions to certain renowned UGC approved and AICT approved pharmacy colleges. So आपके लिए दरवाजे खुल जाते हैं अलग अलग colleges के जब आप GPAT qualify करते हैं. And अगर आपको PhD करनी है, so many a times even in the PhD in the foreign or anywhere, if you have qualified any national level exam, so it gives you an edge over others, right? Giving you all an overview of GPAT. Obviously, it has 125 questions of 4 marks each. So total 500 marks ki exam hai, out of which there's -1 marking for wrong question, and for right answer there is +4 marks. The cutoff is variable every time, but minimum you should like consider in your head that the cutoff is 180 to 200. So you have to attempt minimum 50 right answers. ठीक है? 50 right answers आपके होने चाहिए. So total attempts and all I will be discussing ahead, but you should at least have 50 right answers out of those 125 to get us proper relief कि हाँ मेरा GPAT qualify हो जाएगा. Speaking about what are the things you should focus upon, there are few subjects that you cannot leave. You have to give your full attention to those subjects. So pharmacology is one of them. Pharmacology से very important part is clinical trials. So you should be knowing about the different phases of clinical trials, phase 0 से phase 4 तक, how many volunteers are chosen, what is the purpose, which clinical trial is for safety, which is for efficacy, in which clinical trial we choose healthy volunteers, all those things. Next up, we have classification. This is something that you cannot live. Like classification right from cardiovascular system to your neurological system to your endocrine to every system that you include. You should know the classification of pharmacology at your tips. कैसे याद रखेंगे? Practice. The more you write, the more you remember. Your muscle memory is something that gives you an edge over others, right? So pharmacology से classification is very important. You cannot leave. And then a table of adverse drug reactions. So there are so many different adverse drug reactions of different drugs, but there are certain drugs which have been asked in previous year question, previous frequently asked, like PYQs. So like gray baby syndrome, floppy baby syndrome, red man, blue baby, all those things. So adverse drug reactions काफी बार पूछते हैं and they ask one question, that is for sure. So आपके 4 marks है adverse drug reaction से पक्के. Pharmacognosy. So in pharmacognosy, majorly you have to study about the classification. Like if I talk about primary and secondary metabolites, you cannot leave the classification. Primary में we have carbohydrates, proteins, lipids. In secondary metabolites, we have tannins, alkaloids, glycosides, flavonoids, volatile oil, resins. You should know the classification because they ask on the rings. Like if I talk about alkaloids, so which is an alkaloid containing a quinoline ring, which is an alkaloid containing an imidazole ring. So all those things are direct questions. Matlab they give you in a plate, okay, you have to take 4 marks. It's upon you how you carry forward your this strategy. So you have to remember the classification from pharmacognosy. Besides this, there are few evaluation tests, जैसे कि lycopodium spore method, microscopic evaluation techniques like we have stomatal index, vein islet number. So उसकी definitions भी. You need to know the definitions, not the values. Definition, that which value is what, how it, what is palisade ratio, all those things. Next up from pharmacognosy, we have shikimic acid pathway. And all the pathways, we have majorly two pathways, which is acetate, mevalonate, and shikimic acid. So there are direct questions on these two pathways. So आप छोड़ भी नहीं सकते इनको. You need to study about isoprenoid units, terpenoids, and all. So pharmacognosy से this is very very important and essential for you to know. Next up, medicinal chemistry. ये एक ऐसा subject है which everyone fears of almost. Many students are afraid of this subject and they leave it. Trust me, medchem say what you have to do. You do not have to by heart the IUPAC name, that 2-methyl 4-imidaz, all those things. No. Suppose if I give you all one drug, cimetidine. Can somebody tell me in the chat box which is the ring present in cimetidine? Let me see how many aspirants out of 110 know about the ring. Cimetidine. कौन सी ring है cimetidine में? Imidazole. Am I right? Imidazole ring. So in the exam, there's a question that which of the following drug contains an imidazole ring, and in the option we have cimetidine, famotidine, ranitidine, nizatidine, all the drugs from the same class. So they will confuse you. So you should know that. Suppose now cimetidine I stands for imidazole, and suppose if I talk about another drug, ranitidine, it has furan ring. So furan ka ran and ranitidine ka ran, right? Ran. This is the way how you remember. ड्रग के नाम में ही उसका लिंक छुपी है. इट्स अपॉन यू हाउ यू लिंक इट. सो दिस इज द वे इन विच यू रिमेंबर मेडकेम. मूविंग ओवर टू द एसएआर. टू बी ऑनेस्ट, एसएआर आपको एक स्पेशल तरीके से पढ़ना होता है. इफ आई टॉक अबाउट एसएआर, इट हैज 2 पॉइंट्स. स्ट्रक्चरल एक्टिविटी रिलेशनशिप, बैड एंड गुड. एक वो होते हैं कि इफ वी एड दीज ग्रुप्स ऑन दिस पोजिशन इट विल रिड्यूस द एक्टिविटी. एक वो होते हैं that if we had this group in this particular position, it will increase the activity. You don't have to remember both. Remember either remember good or bad. Suppose if I talk about benzodiazepine, so if I substitute a chloro group at 2, so it will increase the activity. So you should know only the positive points upon benzodiazepine कि ये group डालने से activity बढ़ेगी. So suppose in the examination a question comes that which of the following group will alleviate the activity. So you can know, अगर आपने गुड पढ़ा होगा तो आप अपने आप क्रैक कर पाओगे वो क्वेश्चन को, राइट? So in medchem, SAR this is the way in which you study your SAR. Talking about pharmaceutics, this is the favorite question. Say almost 32 questions appear. Somebody is scribbling on the screen. I request, please don't do that. Okay.
Guys, please hold your hands
right,
and try to understand what is teaching.
Okay.
Right.
So
Otherwise, I have to, restrict you in the whiteboard. Yeah. Go ahead, Payam. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Speaking about pharmaceutics, so in pharmaceutics we have lot of important questions, 32 questions, right? So you can imagine around 120 mark इस part से आते हैं pharmaceutics, and pharmacology so also there are 25 questions, so around 100 marks. So आपके 200 marks that you have to qualify in 2-3 subjects से ही आ जाते. Now how do we study pharmaceutics? Pharmaceutics, if I talk about, you have lot of important things from pharmaceutics. So we have 3 parts. One is physical pharmacy, one is industrial pharmacy, and one is novel drug delivery system. So nowadays they are focusing on NDDS because आजकल NDDS पे there is a lot of research going on. So you should know at least 3 types of NDDS system: transdermal drug delivery system, liposomes and niosomes, and microencapsules. There are chances that they might ask you all from this parts, right? Besides this, there are other like as well, like gastroretentive and all, but these 3 are major that you should not leave from NDDS, right? What is a controlled release? What is a sustained release? So there are certain conditions जिसमें we need certain sustained release formulation. So you need to know what is the difference between controlled, किसमें first order graph है, in which there is a 0 order graph, right? All these questions are appearing. So you should be well versed with these, right? Now, if I talk about industrial pharmacy, in industrial pharmacy, you have to study 3 particular topics. So I have another slide for you for that.
Payam, just reshare this screen, because I think this scribbling you only can delete either, or if you are resharing, then only.
Okay, I'll do that, sir. I'll do that, sir.
Yeah.
I haven't scribbled, but I'll do that. I'll reshare.
Yeah. Because whatever is written already
Yeah,
scribbled will not go
right.
otherwise.
Cool, cool. I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah, I hope it's gone now.
Yeah, go on. Please go ahead now.
So this is another one in which you have to study your pharmaceutics. So you have to make tables. Just say you have 20 formulations, suspension, emulsion, elixir, tablet. But those 20 questions, the questions don't appear. Questions is part say, I am telling you all right now, this is on recording. Minimum 2 questions will come in exam. Every year, tablet, capsule, parenteral aerosol. In 4 topics, say there are 8 marks question minimum that appears. And these are the topics just say aate hain. So this is how you study, like evaluation. So if you have studied this in one page, so you will have glimpse of this one page only. तो आप जब एंड मोमेंट पे पढ़ रहे हो आपको पूरा पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है नोट्स वन पेज एंड इट विल रिफ्लेक्ट इन फ्रंट ऑफ योर आईज so if I talk about evaluation, we have hardness, dissolution, friability. So which friabilator, Roche, how much RPM, 25 RPM, 4 minutes. You should know technical specifications as well of those. Like if dissolution, so what is a dissolution temperature? What is a dissolution time? All those things, right? So you need to know that as well, dissolution. So this is very important. Speaking about capsules, oh my God, there is a real problem with somebody.
One
Speaking
sec.
of,
I think let me identify who is doing this,
yeah,
and let me remove them from
yeah.
the. No, guys, I think you're taking it really.
Yeah.
Okay, one sec.
Okay. Guys, if you're not interested, you can leave, not a problem. है ना? We can only those students, बाकी को परेशान मत करो. It's a humble request. Right. And yeah,
And
moving
if you're not
forward.
interested, please
Yeah,
do this.
yeah, sure, sir.
Uh, Please delete and go ahead. I think I've restricted now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, sir. Really, relief. So if I talk about
Yeah, go
capsules,
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, capsules has a lot of important questions like what is a bloom strength, what is the value of bloom strength, what is the definition, what is the equipment like gelometer and all, how much should be the iron content, the values. They ask on values. How many millipoise should be the viscosity? What is a moisture content? How do you determine moisture content in a capsule? Is it Carl Fischer? Is it gas chromatography? The analytical techniques. Similarly, for weight variation, if it is the less than 300 mg, if it is greater than 300 mg, then there's a table of capsules, like the size 00 for veterinary, 001, all those things. So according to the capacity, how much size should be incorporated, how much volume of solids and liquids. Usse there are, and last year in GPAT, this was a question that appeared on the size. And in NIPER, there was a similar question. So you can imagine how important these things are, right? And then you need to know the difference between, there are 2 types of gelatin, type A and type B. So which is as in the chat box, can somebody help me? Which is acid hydrolyzed and which is base hydrolyzed gelatin? Let me see कितने लोगों को याद है. Which is a gelatin which has a isoelectric pH of 9 and which has isoelectric pH of 4.7. Any smart student who can tell me? Right? So 9 type A ka it's 9, type B ka it's 4.7. So this question appears, which is acid hydrolyzed, type A is acid, A for acid, A for type A, B for base, type B. Right? So ऐसे link करो, you will find every question ka answer in the particular statement, in the particular word. Similarly, excipient, so what binder, what glycant, what disintegrant, what is the concentration, like starch. So starch हर चीज का काम कर सकता है, disintegrant, binder भी. So you should know that at what concentration it is acting as a disintegrant, at what concentration it's acting as a binder. Then there's a Maillard reaction for lactose. All those things come very frequently. So you should be well versed with that, right? And speaking about the excipients for capsule, we have gelatin, plasticizer, role of plasticizer, opacifier, types of opacifier. Then equipment. So up rotary press, what is a fluidized bed dryer, what is the role of FBD and all. So all those things you need to know, right? Speaking about equipments for capsules, we have Zanasi, LA Lilly and all. So all those things appear very frequently. And lastly, tablet defects. So what is capping, Sir, it is Jaya Kusamba. The name is Jaya, Jayak. If we can remove them. Tablet defects, right? So in tablet defects, we have mottling, lamination, capping, chipping. So इसके definition पे आता है या तो इसके remedy पे आएगा. That if there is mottling, what is the solution? They are interested in solution. So you should know the remedy as well as the definition. Like if it is mottling, so what will you do? Will you reduce the size of the die? What is the what is the thing that you can do? Right? Similarly, for parenterals and aerosols, we have what is the sterility testing, what is
Jay Kumar,
pyrogenicity, what is
Jay,
methylene blue dye का role, है ना? All these things. What is an aseptic area, classification, class 100, 1000 and all. ये सब पूछते हैं. All of this is being asked. Then we have excipient में what is cryoprotectant, what is the role of lyoprotectants, what is a viscosity modifier. क्या क्या रोल पूछते हैं एग्जांपल्स. जैसे अगर मैंने आपको बोला ट्री हेलोस या मैनिटोल, so you should be knowing that ये cryoprotectant है या lyoprotectant है. So that is very important. If I tell you dextrose, so can somebody tell me how much, what is the role of dextrose? Yeah, can somebody tell me how much % of dextrose is required for isotonicity? कितना % dextrose is required for isotonicity? 5%. Very good. 5% dextrose is required for isotonicity. So यही questions आते हैं. NaCl 0.9%. And this is where we make mistakes. मतलब हम we see easy question and हम घाई में गलत mark कर देते. So we need to have our mind very calm. I know वो excitement आ जाती है कि हाँ ये तो पढ़ा है. जल्दी जल्दी में हम पूरा question ही नहीं पढ़ते. क्या पता question में which of the following is not पूछा हो. Which of the following drugs are we can say class are drugs for epilepsy except पूछा हो. So ये words हम भूल जाते हैं, except, not, and घाई घाई में we just mark the any option. So see to it that you pay your attention on these catchy words like except, not, है ना, all those things. And aerosol में of course we have particle size, how do we measure, like the identification of propellant, what are the different techniques for identification of propellant, what is flash point, what is tag open cup apparatus, what are the techniques for filling caps, cold filling, pressure filling, है ना, what is the excipients, what is propellant number 11, what is propellant 12, what is propellant 114. So इसके नाम आते हैं and इसकी एक drawback आता है. So if I talk about 11, उसका एक drawback है, is it flammable? अगर मैं 12 की बात करूं, so it has another drawback. So if I use a combination of, it is moisture sensitive. So if I use a combination, is it helpful? So इस पे there are being question asked, right? So you should be well versed with the name, तो पता ही होना चाहिए, but उसके साथ उसका एक drawback है. So you should know the drawback as well of this, है ना? And this is like values. There are certain apparatus, certain things जिसमें values count, like 140 to 180 psi pressure at 130 Fahrenheit. This is the pressure for a container, that a container should resist, because aerosol है, gaseous form है, right? It is a propellant containing. So वो the material in which you are adding it should be able to withhold the pressure. So this is how you study pharmaceutics at one go. है. So for this, I prepared a special slide for you. And this you can take a screenshot. Somebody just did this again. For this, you can just take a screenshot, right? Okay, what
who is
all?
this? Who is this? Can we see the name? I think I've given you those things.
Yeah, I just saw the name. Jayaku or something was the name. Jayak, something similar.
But who is not in the Jay? Is not. No one is Jay in
No
this.
worry, no worry. He might have left. I took his name again, so he would have left. No worry. You can just take a screenshot of this because ये आपको last 2 months में करना है. मैंने बस एक slide में आपको बताया. सारा कोलॉजी का classification, all medchem point of view से classification, like which is ethylene amine containing as antihistaminics, all cognosy classification you cannot leave. आपके 12 से 16 marks will directly appear from classification. Analysis से we have titration, complexometry, we have titrimetry, potentiometry, conductometry. Classification से analysis के formulations. So we have industrial pharmacy. I mentioned about 4 formulations that you cannot leave. Besides this, suspension and emulsion. These are 2 again important things जो आपको नहीं छोड़नी है, because suspension emulsion उनका favorite है. Either वो evaluation से पूछेंगे or they will ask you what is degree of flocculation and all, है ना? या तो उसके excipients पे, like what is an example of suspending agent, what is a surfactant which a HLB value. Can somebody tell me के HLB value 40, which is that surfactant name, which is a surfactant with an HLB value 40? Let me see how is the crowd. SLS, correct? Very good, Utkarsh, Manisha, Hina. Very good, everybody who's answering. SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate. So यही question आपको GPAT में मिलेगा. What does the HLB value, oleic acid की कितनी है? So you need to be well versed. Then from pharmaceutical engineering, there is important terminologies. I forgot to mention engineering out here, but just write engineering. So like what is a drying, what are the equation of drying? What is the equation for filtration? Kozeny-Kármán, Poiseuille's equation. What is Reynolds number? What is Bernoulli's theorem? ये सब direct questions आते हैं and you should be very much acquainted with these terms. Micro and biotech se, here I have another slide for you all. So this is how you study micro and bio regulatory affairs. And biochem and biotech, I'll take it at another session. Sorry, at another point, not right now, later on in the session. So in gram staining, ऐसे table बना दो because it is very lengthy that first you add crystal violet, you keep it for 10 minutes and no one is going to ask you procedure. They will directly ask you which is the primary stain in gram staining. So answer khatak karke should be crystal violet, which is a mordant. So grams iodine. What is the recolorizer? Alcohol. How much percent alcohol? It is 95% ethanol. Saffron in counter stain. What is the if then another way to ask question aajkal like in one of the Manipal exams I faced this. They ask on case study. They tell that in one of the laboratories staining technique was carried out and it was found that the bacteria carried a purple color. Identify which is the bacteria. And chalo, I'll ask this question to you all also. Okay? And in the options, चार option थे. Let me see कितने लोग ये guess कर पाते. So I'll repeat the question again. It is a case study based question. Okay? So now GPAT सीधा सीधा नहीं पूछते. They ask you case study based. In a laboratory, a staining technique was carried out. एक बंदे ने staining करी. And it was found that the final color was purple. Identify the bacteria. ठीक है? And the options are Vibrio cholerae, Escherichia coli, Neisseria gonorrhea, and Staphylococcus aureus. अब a hint for you all. अच्छा चलो बिना hint के let me see how many people can answer. Vibrio cholerae, Escherichia coli, Neisseria gonorrhea, and Staphylococcus aureus. Okay, some says E. coli, some says S. aureus. Okay, a hint for all before we I tell the answer. It identify कौन सा gram positive and कौन सा gram negative. Identify करो gram negative and positive. इसमें से there are 3 which are gram negative and सिर्फ एक है which is gram positive. Right? So Staphylococcus aureus is the right answer. Well done, guys. So the rest all are negative. Vibrio cholerae, Escherichia coli, Neisseria gonorrhea. तो एक list बना लो. जैसे I had made when Hrithik Roshan. So Vibrio cholerae, Escherichia coli, Neisseria gonorrhea, Haemophilus influenza, Klebsiella pneumonia. These are example of gram negative. Mnemonics are always going to help you. कुछ भी हो mnemonics आपका साथ नहीं छोड़ेंगे. Vibrio cholerae, Escherichia, Neisseria. So आप इस mnemonics से आराम से ये question solve कर सकते थे. So you can just opt this technique as well. It will be beneficial for you, right? And it's a table बना के पढ़ो. Similar for acid fast staining and RA. Regulatory affairs में there are a lot of people who says that it is boring, it is very theoretical. Table बनाओ. Like if सीधा question आता है, TGA is a regulatory authority of which country? You should know Australia. And in NIPER this year they had asked 2 to 3 questions on regulatory bodies only. Because nowadays it's becoming very stringent for regulatory approvals and RA is gaining a lot of importance. So there are high chances कि फिर से RA पे question and regulatory bodies पे ही आए. So सिर्फ ये याद नहीं रखना है TGA. ऑप्शन में आएगा थेराप्यूटिक्स गुड्स एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, देन ऑप्शन में आएगा थेराप्यूटिक गुड एडवाइसेस, कुछ भी आ सकता है. You should know the full form as well. I'll mark 10 important this thing for all regulatory bodies. At least वो याद रखना. MHRA, USFDA, CIDESCO, EMEA, TGO, TGA, NVISA, MHLW, and there is another one, PMDA. ठीक है, it is also for Japan. Just study about PMDA. Then there is MPA for Sweden, and then there is another one, NAFDAC. At least ये 10 आपको इन 24 tables में से पता होने चाहिए. Rest is up to you, but you should know minimum these 10 regulatory bodies. And I hope that you all are at least writing it simultaneously, or you all are in the session with me. And if there's any doubt, feel free to ask. And this is how you study your microbiology and regulatory affairs, right? So we were over here. And lastly, we have organic chemistry. So in organic chemistry, you need to know all the name reactions, because name reactions say they directly ask you questions. So you need to know the name reactions very well, right? So what is the Clemens and what is Wolf Kishner? Usse question सीधा आते हैं. Then another slide on which the question is asked in SN1, SN2, E1, E2. So for that, like you should study it in the form of a graph or a in a form of something that you can remember comparative form, है ना? So like I have just give me a moment. See, uh, so here you can see SN1, SN2, E1, E2. This is also my page of Instagram. You can follow it, Pharma Tips and Tricks. So इसमें see SN1, SN2, E1, E2. So in one slide only, all your four categories are being covered. And trust me, इसके अलावा बाहर से question नहीं आए. इसी पे आएगा. Yeah, and one more is example. So they might ask you that third butyl chloride reacting with something like that. है ना, third butane reacting with its hydrochloride, hydrochloric acid. So examples पे आ सकते हैं, इसके अलावा रेस्ट इसके बाहर क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा. So you can take a screenshot or you can just write this table that what is the order of which reaction, first order कौन सा है, second, what is a molecularity, what is a substrate order, tertiary, secondary, primary, and in which there is only SN2 is the only reaction वहाँ पे primary, secondary, tertiary order है. So see, these things are important, in which there is aprotic solvent, which there is protic solvent. So this is what they ask you. So I hope that you are very much familiar with these terminologies. So you should study organic chemistry also in the form of tables. मतलब it's important. जैसे name reaction, तो name reaction का भी आप एक table बना सकते हो. Where is my other slide? Yeah, name reactions का भी आप एक table बना सकते हो like this. So in the first column, you can write the name of the reaction. Suppose clemensin. In the second column, write the reagent. Can somebody tell me reagent क्या है? Hydrazine है या zinc amalgam है? Hydrazine है या zinc amalgam है? And in another column, you can write medium. Right? It's zinc amalgam concentrated HCl. Very good people. Very good. So reagent is zinc amalgam and concentrated hydrochloric acid. So you have to write zinc amalgam. Then product क्या बनता है? Product क्या बनता है? Alkane बनता है क्या? From carbonyl. Do we get an alkane from carbonyl? And what is the medium? It is acidic medium. Why did I make this column of acidic? Because आजकल GPAT में they are asking upon the medium. जैसे if I talk about Wolf Kishner, so it has a basic medium in hydrazine ethylene glycol. In hydrazine ethylene glycol, and the product is same, alkane from carbonyl. So अगर आपने ये table बनाया होगा ना, you don't have to write that reaction carbonyl ऐसे बना के. It is all consuming your time. Be smart. के सीधा write this table. That's it. This is all you need to know from organic chemistry point of view. Now few tips and booster strategies that you can adopt. Importance of reference books. अब तो time नहीं है कि आप standard books पढ़ो. For sure अब तक आपको पढ़ लेनी चाहिए थी. So I'm mentioning this point for aspirants जो अगले साल GPAT देंगे for 2025, because we have a lot of people from 2025 as well. So you should read only standard books. Like there is KD Tripathi for ecology, है ना? There is Rank and Dale for ecology again. Then Goodman, Gilman and all. So आप standard books पढ़ो. Pharmaceutics में we have Lackman, we have Subramaniam, है ना, for physical pharmacy and all. So you should read standard books. वो PV, Nirali, Thakur, those are for your semesters. But if you want deep knowledge, if you want, and trust me, मैं अपना experience बताता हूँ. एक direct question was asked from Lackman on capsules. Statement भी नहीं बदला था. It was on base adsorption, that if the base adsorption increases, the capsule size will increase. Some statement was there. And वो पूरा statement सीधा they had chosen from Lackman. Not even one word was being reframed. So you can imagine the importance of standard books, right? FAQ पे focus करो. If there's any competitive examination, FAQ and PYQ, previous year questions, frequently asked questions, इससे there will be lot of help to you all. So you cannot leave this part. It is very important. And lastly, क्या qualities रखनी है जिससे आप failure से ना डरो. Do not get scared. And काफी people are like that now we are getting a score of 150 200 in mock test, and they get panic. They're like they are in a havoc and they create chaos for themselves. No, you don't need to panic, my friend. आइडेंटिफाई योर वीक एरियाज, कि अगर आपको 150 आ रहे हैं तो आपके मार्क्स जा कहाँ रहे हैं, एनालिसिस में जा रहे हैं. सो फार्मास्यूटिकल एनालिसिस लो एंड स्टडी इट. दिस इज द टाइम, यू हैव 2 months, 60 days. 60 days आर नॉट इनफ. अगर आप डेली 3 hours ऑफ जीपैट देते हो, 60 days को 3 hours से मल्टीप्लाई कर दो, 180 hours इज नॉट लेस. आपका पूरा जीपैट रिवाइज हो सकता है इसमें. ठीक है. सो यू नीड टू नो दिस वेरी वेल कि परसिवियरेंस होना चाहिए, हार्ड वर्क. हार्ड वर्क के साथ स्मार्ट वर्क करना आना चाहिए. ऐसे नहीं कि यू आर जस्ट गोइंग ऑन स्टडिंग स्टडिंग. टेबल फ्लो चार्ट्स, दैट्स इट. फ्लो चार्ट्स बनाओ, माइंड मैप्स बनाओ. एंड वन स्पेशल टिप फ्रॉम माय साइड टू ऑल ऑफ यू ऑल, कि जब आप, many people have asked me this personally also, that हम ट्रैवलिंग करते हैं, हमारा टाइम वेस्ट होता है, 2 hours 3 hours ऑफ ट्रैवलिंग टू कॉलेज. ट्रैवलिंग टाइम यूटिलाइज करो. हाउ? देर आर सो मेनी डिफरेंट पेजेस ऑन टेलीग्राम जहाँ पे दे प्रोवाइड मॉक टेस्ट. वो टिक करते हो एंड वो आता है. सो जस्ट सी टू इट दैट यू ज्वाइन टेलीग्राम चैनल्स, वहां मॉक टेस्ट दो. और there are so many applications and free softwares available for GPAT free MCQs. I have also mentioned in my slide one of the free site, so you can take from there MCQs. वहां पे attempt free MCQ. बस में don't listen to music, don't waste your time into unwanted things. These are the last 60 days. अपना बेस्ट दो यार, एंड टारगेट दैट. तो जस्ट सी टू इट दैट आप, एंड इवन व्हेन यू आर स्लीपिंग, कुछ लोग होते हैं जिनको नींद नहीं आती, माइंड मैप बनाना शुरू कर दो व्हेन यू आर स्लीपिंग. मतलब सपोज इन द डे यू हैड स्टडीड अबाउट द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एंटी कैंसर, तो हाँ सोते सोते याद करो, हाँ पैक्लिटेक्सेल, विनक्रिस्टेन, साइक्लोफॉस्फेमाइड, माइटोटेन, ट्रास्ट्यूजुमैब. तो अपने आप नींद आ जाती है. दिस इज माय पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस. आई आल्सो यूज्ड टू डू दिस. मुझे नींद नहीं आती थी टेंशन में लास्ट के कुछ दिन में. सो माइंड मैप्स बनाना शुरू कर दो, सो यू कैन बी स्ट्रेस फ्री. एंड आपको, एंड जब आपको आंसर आ रहे, जब आप whenever you are मेकिंग दीज माइंड मैप्स एंड आप लिंक कर पा रहे हो, सो यू विल गेट दैट कॉन्फिडेंस कि हाँ मेरे से हो रहा है. नेक्स्ट एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, 21 रूल. अब ये 21 रूल क्या है? कोई भी चीज को ना अपनी आदत बनाने के लिए 21 दिन लगते हैं. जैसे इफ यू हैव एन हैबिट ऑफ वॉचिंग इंस्टाग्राम रील्स, यूट्यूब शॉर्ट्स, आप 1-2 घंटा कंटिन्यू स्क्रॉल करोगे यार, आपको बाद में रियलाइज होगा, शिट 1 घंटा क्या कर लिया मैंने स्क्रॉल, बिकॉज वो आपकी हैबिट बन चुकी है. आप 21 दिन तक रोज भले ही 5 मिनट रील देखते थे, अब वो 5 मिनट धीरे धीरे 60 मिनट्स में कन्वर्ट हो गया. सो 21 डेज तक मेक अ हैबिट. आई हैव टू काइंड ऑफ पीपल. एक है अर्ली बर्ड और एक है लेट नाइट बर्ड्स. ठीक है, इसका मतलब क्या है? अर्ली बर्ड्स वो होते हैं जो सुबह जल्दी उठ के पढ़ते हैं. मतलब दे वेक अप एट 5 o'clock, एंड आई हैव फ्यू स्टूडेंट्स पर्सनली जो 4 o'clock को उठ के भी पढ़ते हैं. आई हैव पर्सनली फ्यू स्टूडेंट्स. एंड लेट नाइट स्टूडेंट्स वो होते हैं जो रात के 12 से लेकर 2 बजे तक पढ़ते हैं. नाउ इट्स टोटली अपॉन यू दैट यू बिलोंग टू विच कैटेगरी. ऑफ कोर्स आपको अगर अच्छी रैंक चाहिए, इफ यू वांट सर्टेन दिस अगेन, इफ यू वांट समथिंग गुड, सो यू हैव टू पुट इन एंड इन्वेस्ट योर टाइम, राइट? सो सी टू इट कि आप वो टाइम एक्स्ट्रा दो. आप बाकियों से कैसे ऊपर आओगे? हाउ विल यू गेट एन एज ओवर अदर्स? मतलब कुछ लोग बोलते हैं कि हमारे मार्क्स कम आते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि आप उतने एफर्ट्स, टाइम नहीं दे रहे हो. आप, योर स्ट्रेटेजी टू स्टडी इज नॉट क्लियर, लेट मी टेल यू. दैट इज द रीजन कि आपको मार्क्स कम आ रहे हैं. सो आप टाइम ज्यादा इन्वेस्ट करो एंड स्ट्रेटेजी बदलो. दैट्स ऑल आई कैन से. एंड या दिस इज द सेम थिंग, मॉक टेस्ट दो, है ना? This is the minimum number of questions to attempt. So this is a image that I obtained, procured from the Google, and this is a very lovely image. Like the number of this is a matrix of how many questions are divided and how many subjects and domains. So here you can see 24 college से 20 पक्के हैं, Sutic से 20 पक्के हैं, Cognosy से now there are reduced to 10 questions. So this is wrong information. Chemistry से there are 20 questions पक्का. So this is again a wrong information. So you have 20 questions, POC, chemistry, ecology. So total आपके 60-70 questions यही हो गए. 70 questions mean how many? 280 marks, right? So that's not a less amount. And how many questions you? This is a matrix of permutation and combination. How many marks you need to attempt and how much you can try. Like 50 questions attempt करोगी तो 35 होंगे तो आपको इतने score होगा. So I will give you all one matrix for this. This is I will give you all one simple matrix, है ना? Those there are 3 categories that we divide. अभी ये बहुत important है. I hope कोई सो नहीं रहा होगा सेशन को चालू करके, है ना? There are 3 categories. एक है जिन्हें AIR 1 से 10 चाहिए, एक है जिन्हें AIR below 500 चाहिए, और एक है that are just कि भाई क्वालिफिकेशन कर लेना है. तो क्वालिफिकेशन वाले जो है, फॉर देम आई हैव दिस suggestion: attempt 60 questions, out of which at least 45 must be right. 500 वाले जो है, attempt at least 80 to 85 questions, out of which 65 to 70 must be right. And for AIR 1 and 10, no limit for all. 125 करना है, 125 भी कर लो, but to be on a safer side, to avoid negative marking, because we need to focus on a word called accuracy. Accuracy होनी चाहिए. So I would suggest a buffer of 15 to 20 questions you can leave. 100 to 115 questions you must attempt. ठीक है, like this year's there were good rankers from this year as well. So I had asked them. So जो top 10 में थे, उन्होंने 105 questions जरूर attempt करे. So this is a number of questions that you should attempt. Right कितने होने चाहिए? I would suggest सारे, but नहीं भी होंगे तो minimum 90 questions और 85 to 90 right questions. तो आपके marks हो जाएंगे 350 के अराउंड. टॉप 10 में आने से nobody can stop you. You are unstoppable. So this is how you need to divide yourself. तो आप पहले अपने आप को एक कैटेगरी में फिक्स करो. एंड ऐसा घर से सोच के मत जाओ कि मुझे इतने क्वेश्चंस ही करने हैं, आई नीड टू रिस्ट्रिक्ट. क्या पता व्हेन यू गो ओवर देयर यू विल बी एबल टू सॉल्व मोर क्वेश्चंस. तो वो माइंडसेट मत रख के जाओ कि आई हैव टू अटेम्प्ट 100 मतलब 100. क्या पता आपको 120 क्वेश्चंस भी आ जाए. तो गो विद द फ्लो. बट हाँ, ये है कि अगर आपको एनालाइज करना है कि इफ यू एट द एंड ऑफ द पेपर यू गेट लॉट ऑफ टाइम, आपको हाफ एन आवर फ्री होता है. ठीक है, मैं तो हाफ एन आवर सो गया था. सो आपको हाफ एन आवर फ्री होता है, तो आप तब देख सकते हो कि आपने कितने क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट किया एंड मोर हाउ मच यू नीड टू अटेम्प्ट मोर. सो दिस इज फॉर दैट. सो डोंट रिस्ट्रिक्ट योरसेल्फ कि हमें इतने क्वेश्चंस ही करना. दिस इज ओनली फॉर योर क्लैरिटी कि हाँ 85 राइट क्वेश्चन, 350 के अराउंड नंबर बन गए, sufficient for me to get into top 10, है ना. So that is one thing that you can do. Next up we have पेपर को 3 राउंड में सॉल्व करना. ऑफ कोर्स ये हर कोई बताता है आपको. 3 राउंड्स. फर्स्ट राउंड में उतने क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो जितने कॉन्फिडेंट हो कि nobody is, this is not going to be wrong for sure. So attempt those questions that you are very sure about, right? So that is the first part. Suppose अगर फर्स्ट राउंड में आपको आ रहे हैं सिर्फ 50 क्वेश्चंस, कर लो 50. हु स्टॉपिंग यू? सेकेंड राउंड में 2 ऑप्शन में डामाडोल है. वी आर कंफ्यूज बिटवीन 2 ऑप्शंस. सो ओवर देयर यू कैन अटेम्प्ट, सपोज आपको तब आए 15 कि यू वर देयर आर 15 क्वेश्चन इन विच यू आर कंफ्यूज बिटवीन 2 ऑप्शंस, तो आपने एलिमिनेशन मेथड से कर दिया उसको एलिमिनेट एंड यू रीच आउट टू योर फाइनल आंसर. एंड द राउंड 3 दैट आई वुड सजेस्ट जाना ही नहीं है इस राउंड में. वो क्वेश्चन जिसमें आप 3 ऑप्शन में कंफ्यूज हो या जिसमें आपको रिस्क लेना है, तो आई वुड सजेस्ट 2 to 3 questions from this round, not much. अगर आपके इन 2 राउंड में कम क्वेश्चन हुए तो फिर भी. अदरवाइज दोज हु वांट अ गुड रैंक 2 राउंड्स तक रिस्ट्रिक्ट योरसेल्फ, है ना. सो आई होप एवरीबॉडी इज एंजॉयिंग द सेशन. आपका इंटरफेस, बहुत लोगों ने मॉक टेस्ट ही नहीं दी होती है एंड वो सीधा जीपैट के एग्जाम में जाके आ जाते हैं एंड दे आर कंफ्यूज कि व्हाट इज द इंटरफेस, करना क्या है. बिकॉज बहुत स्मार्ट स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, दे माइट नॉट बी फेमिलियर विद द टेक्नोलॉजी. तो ये सब होता है. मार्क फॉर रिव्यू एंड नेक्स्ट होता है एक. फिर एक होता है नॉट आंसर, नॉट विजिटेड. ऐसा सिमिलर इंटरफेस आता है. अब ये कैसे पता चलेगा? मॉक टेस्ट दो. देयर आर अ नंबर ऑफ एप्लीकेशंस ऑनलाइन एंड नंबर ऑफ tutorials that provide such a in micro environment. तो आपको I would suggest those who are very honest and disciplined, एक कोने में जाओ, दरवाजा बंद करो, टेक योर मोबाइल और लैपटॉप, 3 hours तक एक प्रॉपर मॉक टेस्ट दो माइक्रो एनवायरमेंट में, बिना चीटिंग करे, बिना यहाँ वहां आंसर देखे. एंड एनालाइज how many questions you are able to attempt, what is the number of answers that you are gaining, है ना. So this is how you must be familiar with the environment. This is a website or toppers exam, pharma and paramedicals, and this is a application GPAT practice on Play Store. I am not sure about whether it's available on iPhone devices, iOS. I think so it is available.
Don't worry, Payam. We will also plan some mock test now
Okay,
with your help for
definitely,
our
definitely. So you
students.
can, yeah, surely. So आप CliMed से भी जरूर जुड़े रहिए. They have lot of good pages, Instagram pages, I guess on Telegram as well, and they have a very good YouTube channel where they provide good information on clinical research and all. So just see to it that you are in close like follow up with CliMed research solutions, right? So Dr. Ajit is very विजनरी पर्सन, सो आई वुड सजेस्ट यू ऑल कि आप प्रॉपर उसका फॉलो अप रखें, राइट. सो ये एक ऐप है जो आप मॉक टेस्ट के लिए दे सकते हैं, एंड दिस इज वन वेबसाइट. देयर आर मल्टीपल, बट सिंस आई फेल शॉर्ट ऑफ टाइम, सो आई थॉट दैट आपको एटलीस्ट एक साइट तो दिखा दूं, है ना. That's a question distribution that I already mentioned about you, like Ecology से, Cognosy से, but in इसमें there is revised version that I made. So Ecology से 28, Chemistry से 30 and all. So this is encompassing your GPAT. Now the topics, the main चीज जिसका सब वेट कर रहे थे कि हम इस सब्जेक्ट से कौन से टॉपिक पढ़े कि हमारा GPAT निकल जाए. So ये वो सब्जेक्ट्स और यही वो टॉपिक्स है जिससे आप पढ़ सकते हो. So, Shirish, please don't do anything. Thank you. Thank you for taking my annotation back. So, micromeritics. एक क्वेश्चन आता है, रियोलॉजी, न्यूटोनियन, नॉन न्यूटोनियन फ्लो, विस्कोमीटर्स. मैं लिखते जाता हूँ चलो आप लोगों के लिए. विस्कोमीटर्स, न्यूटोनियन, नॉन न्यूटोनियन, व्हाट इज फ्लूइडिटी, व्हाट इज मोबिलिटी. Micromeritics से particle size measurement, optical microscopy, sedimentation and all techniques. Then we have angle of repose, all the derived properties of powders, Hausner's ratio, Carr's index. अच्छा चलो let's test you all. थोड़ा boring हो गया है session. Can somebody tell me if my Carr's index, अब मेरा Carr's index कितना होना चाहिए कि मेरा flow excellent. मेरा Carr's index कितना होना चाहिए that my flow is excellent. Can somebody tell me? कार्स इंडेक्स मेरा कितना, देखा देखा आ गए मल्टीपल क्वेश्चंस. 5 to 15, 25, 15, लेस देन 10. टेबल 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 नहीं पढ़ा आपने कार्स इंडेक्स का, राइट. इट इज अप्रोक्सीमेटली 15 to 25 टू बी ऑनेस्ट, बिकॉज इन मल्टीपल बुक्स अलग अलग नंबर्स दिए, बट 15 to 25 इज अ सेफर स्कोर, है ना. सो दैट इज समथिंग दैट यू शुड नो. हॉजनर्स रेशियो 1 to 1.11 होना चाहिए. नेक्स्ट अप कॉम्प्लेक्सेशन. सो फ्रॉम कॉम्प्लेक्सेशन क्वेश्चंस सिर्फ एक ही जगह से आते हैं, ओनली वन प्लेस, विच इज क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्सेस. सो वी हैव ऑर्गेनिक कॉम्प्लेक्स, मेटालिक कॉम्प्लेक्स, शिलेट कॉम्प्लेक्स, ओलिफिन कॉम्प्लेक्स. सो आपको एग्जाम्पल्स पढ़ने हैं, लाइक साइक्लोडेक्स्ट्रीन कौन से कॉम्प्लेक्स में बिलोंग करता है. साइक्लोडेक्स्ट्रीन अल्फा, बीटा, गामा, ये मोनोमोलिकुलर कॉम्प्लेक्स है. अल्फा में कितने ग्लूकोज यूनिट्स है, 6 है. बीटा में 7 है. गैमा में 8 है. सो ये आपको पता होना चाहिए साइक्लोडेक्स्ट्रिन में, है ना. सो ऐसे एग्जांपल्स, ओनली एग्जांपल्स के अराउंड वो खेलते हैं. फार्मास्यूटिकल कैलकुलेशन. सो वी हैव टू टाइप्स ऑफ कैलकुलेशंस. वन इज आइसोटोनिसिटी. सो दे आस्क यू एडजस्ट द आइसोटोनिसिटी, जिसमें वो फॉर्मूला है 0.52 माइनस, सॉरी, freezing point. There is one isotonicity में freezing point. This is one formula, right? Then they ask you on alligation method, and the third question is displacement value of suppositories. Displacement value of suppositories. Right? Alligation method वो ऐसा करते हो ना, क्रॉस वाला, that is alligation technique. So उससे काफी बार आता है क्वेश्चन, राइट. सो कैलकुलेशन से, इफ यू आर नॉट गुड एट कैलकुलेशन, लीव इट. ओके, अभी मत पढ़ने जाना नया, एंड मोमेंट पे कुछ मत पढ़ना. यू कैन लीव दिस पार्ट ऑफ कैलकुलेशन, यू कैन अटेम्प्ट अदर फार्मर डोमेन्स. तो अगर ऐसा कोई भी है जिसमें आप वीक हो ना, जरूरी नहीं है कि आप, यू शुड नो दैट, सी टू इट दैट आप बाकी कॉन्सेप्ट्स को, फंडामेंटल्स को स्ट्रॉन्ग कर लो. नेक्स्ट अप वी हैव solids dosage form, which is capsule, tablets and all. तो उससे I am already mentioned all possible questions including aerosol and parent. Cosmetics very rare, but SPF पे question आता है. What is the sun protection factor 30 and 50 and how do you calculate SPF? इसका formula पढ़ लेना. Besides this, another question where it will be asked in vanishing cream and cold cream. The difference between W by O emulsion and O by W. Vanishing cream कहाँ है, cold cream कहाँ है? What are the different unit operations? Drying, filtration, centrifugation, evaporation, size reduction, size separation. तो आप कोई फार्मास्यूटिकल प्लांट में जाते हो, पहले आप साइज रिड्यूस करोगे, साइज सेपरेट करोगे, ड्राई करोगे, पाउडरिंग करोगे, राइट. फिल्ट्रेशन, डिस्टिलेशन, सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन, एक फ्लो होता है. सो आपको पता होना चाहिए साइज रिडक्शन में अब लॉ है, किक्स लॉ, बॉन्ड्स लॉ, रिटिंगर्स लॉ. दिस वाज द लास्ट ईयर्स जीपैट क्वेश्चन. So pharmaceutical engineering say don't leave all the laws. There are 6 laws: Kick's law, Bond's law, Rittinger's law, Hagen, Porcelli, Darcy, Kirchhoff. Not 6 actually, 7 to 8. Kirchhoff, and there is Fourier's law for heat transfer. Boltzmann, Stephen Boltzmann law. है ना. So all these things are being asked. So see to it, इसका screenshot वगैरह ले लो, और whatever is possible feasible on your side, if you're writing, just write it. You cannot leave their formula. इसके formula पे question आता है. Next up, moving ahead, we have chemistry. Chemistry से, as I mentioned, name reactions as your major chunk, 12 mark. And heterocyclic ring. Okay, tell me in danazole कौन सी ring है, tell me in stanzolol कौन सी ring है ना? So they ask questions upon your ring as well. So you should know about the ring. And if I talk about stereochemistry, so isomerism पे question आता है. Isomerism पे question आते हैं कि which is cis, which is trans, है ना? They will give you all one. अच्छा, I am drawing one this thing. Let me see how many people have their chemistry strong. Can you all tell me this is a cis or a trans? क्या मुझे बता सकते हो ये cis है या trans है? This is cis or trans? Cis or trans? Very good, very good, very good. सही जा रहे हो. Okay. So you should know what is cis, what is trans. If two of groups are on the opposite sides, what is it? If two groups are on the same side, what is the nomenclature, right? So this is how they ask you all questions from stereochemistry point of view. And IUPAC se I would not suggest mat karo. It's too lengthy and too difficult at this moment to start anew. Pharmacology, my favorite subject. So pharmacology से general pharmacology like receptors. So we have different receptors. हमारे body में 4 type के receptors majorly है. Ligand gated, G protein, enzyme linked and nuclear. Then we have something called as orphan receptors. So जो rare drugs होते हैं, this term is associated with the rare drugs, orphan receptors and all. So you should know this. Ligand gated में what is you? There's a different chart. So ligand gated में the response is within milliseconds. In G protein the response is in seconds. Enzyme link the response is in minutes. Nuclear में hours. ऐसा क्यों है? Because nuclear receptors are an example of your intracellular receptors. Enzyme linked receptors are your example of your intracellular as well as extracellular receptors. Ligand gated receptor as your example of extracellular receptors, right? So you should be acquainted with these terminologies very well, है ना? So and examples, how can I forget examples? So if I talk about 5-HT3, that is the only serotonin receptor which is ligand gated. Rest all are G protein. Next, if I talk about muscarinic, so it is an example of GABA B, right? अच्छा, GABA B का मैंने example दिया है. So can somebody tell me which are the 2 drugs that are sedative hypnotics that acts on GABA receptors? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me which 2 receptors are? Sorry, it should be Z. Yeah, that was only for your example, yeah, Arpita. That was only for example. Yeah, it was not. I only wanted to explain it to you all that. Okay, yeah, it is an EZ configuration. Benzodiazepines, right? Benzodiazepines and barbiturates are 2 agents that act on GABA B receptors. So, ऐसे link करो. Whenever you are linking a subject, no, समझ जाओ that आपकी preparation strong है. जैसे how do you link a subject? I'll show you. I'll have a drug called digoxin. ठीक है? मेरे साथ if somebody can write in the chat box, it would be great. Digoxin belongs to which cognacy classification? Digoxin belongs to which cognacy classification? What is the mechanism of action of cognacy of digoxin? What is a test for cognacy for that particular category of digoxin? So digoxin belongs to the category of cardiac glyc. Very good, Keller Kiliani. क्या बात है? You all are तो very smart यार. मुझे लग रहा है तुम लोग तो अभी prepared हो. Belongs to the category of cardiac glycosides. Mechanism of action is which pump? कौन सा pump को inhibit करता है? Is it hydrogen potassium ATPase pump or sodium potassium ATPase pump? Very good, sodium potassium. Hydrogen potassium ATPase pump को कौन inhibit करता है फिर? Hydrogen potassium pump को कौन inhibit करता है फिर? Somebody help me. PPI, proton pump inhibitors like pantoprazole, lansoprazole. And test, so Keller के लिए आपने लिंक करे कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स को? कॉग्नेसी को, कोलॉजी को, बायोकेमिस्ट्री टेस्ट को, है ना? एक तीर से 3 निशान, 3 सब्जेक्ट आ गए. आपने ड्रग लिया, उससे आप इसका एडवर्स, अब क्लिनिकल रिसर्च में जाना है तो इसका एडवर्स ड्रग रिएक्शंस भी आप लिंक कर सकते हो. फार्मेसी प्रैक्टिस एंड सीआर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आपको जाना है तो, है ना? सो ऐसे लिंक, ट्राई टू लिंक ऑल दी सब्जेक्ट्स. है ना. एंड अगर जुरिस्प्रूडेंस लिंक करना है तो एक्ट्स पे चले जाओ कि क्या ड्रग एंड मैजिक रेमेडीज एक्ट के अकॉर्डिंग क्या हम इस पे एडवर्टाइजमेंट बना पाएंगे, और इज इट अ नार्कोटिक एंड साइकोट्रोपिक सब्सटेंस ड्रग, इज इट अ हाई रिस्क मेडिकेशन HRM. सो ऐसे लिंक करो सब्जेक्ट्स को, इट विल बी वेरी, लाइफ विल बी सॉर्टेड फॉर यू. Cognizy I already mentioned earlier. Sorry, I was continuing. Yeah, ANS we have sympathomimetic, parasympathomimetic, sympatholytics, parasympatholytics. You need to know the classification and indication. इस पे ना indication पे question आता है. जैसे if I talk about pralidoxime is used in which poisoning? Pralidoxime is used in which poisoning? Is it used in acetylcholine poisoning? Is it used in atropine poisoning? So you should be knowing. Can somebody, किसी को पता है? Opioid poisoning. Okay. But to be more specific, can we be more specific? Cholinergic poisoning, right? It's an oxime. So cholinergic may be what cholinergic poisoning? Phosphate poisoning में more specifically it is used. So आप ऐसे ANS से this kind of indications पे, so you need to know a table of antidotes and drugs and their antidotes. बहुत जरूरी है कि आपको ये पता हो कि ये ड्रग है तो उसके, जैसे if I talk about warfarin, so answer should be vitamin K. If I talk about heparin, answer should be protamine sulfate. So तुरंत खटाक करके it should be within you, right? Next up, respiratory pharmacology. So we have asthma, emetic drugs and all from this part. Asthma, COPD. So you should be knowing anti-Ig antibody. You should be knowing mast cell stabilizer, leukotriene antagonist. GIT say you should be well versed with ulcerative colitis, IBD, what is a peptic ulcer. Chemotherapy से antibiotics. All the people present out there, जितने भी लोग ये देख रहे हैं, अगर आपने एंटीबायोटिक्स छोड़ा है, big mistake. It's time. Do it. Very very important. 2 questions compulsory antibiotics पे आएंगे. Either beta lactam or your fluoroquinolones or your sulfonamides or your any other category, vancomycin, linezolid, clindamycin, कुछ भी. But antibiotics से आप कुछ नहीं छोड़ सकते. एंटीबायोटिक्स से आप कुछ नहीं छोड़ सकते हो, राइट? वी मस्ट बी वेल वर्स्ड विद एंटीबायोटिक्स. कॉग्निसी, कॉग्निसी से आई ऑलरेडी मेंशन एवरीथिंग, so I don't think I should be mentioning it again because we have a lot of things to focus upon. But yeah, you can take screenshot, huh? You can, and if possible I'll upload this slide on somewhere. It's on my SlideShare account. You can download this presentation from my SlideShare account. ठीक है? फार्मास्यूटिकल एनालिसिस से, यस, आई डिड नॉट मेंशन मच अबाउट एनालिसिस. सो आप कोई भी चीज करते हो, यू नीड एन एनालिटिकल वैलिडेशन. सो इसमें वी हैव 4-5 कॉन्सेप्ट्स दैट वी कैन नॉट लीव, लाइक इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस. उसमें भी जेल इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस आपको छोड़ना नहीं है. यू शुड रीड अबाउट SDS पेज, सोडियम डोडेकाइल सल्फेट पॉलीएक्रिलामाइड जेल इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस. देन HPLC एंड GC. अब HPLC एंड GC कैसे पढ़ोगे मैं बताता हूँ. ठीक है, मेक अ टेबल. आई वुड सजेस्ट टेबल्स every time टेबल बनाओ. फर्स्ट कॉलम शुड बी डिटेक्टर. If I talk about detectors, HPLC में we have bulk properties, we have florimetry detector, we have solute property detectors, turbidimetry and all. GC में we have TCD, FID, ECD, thermal conductivity, flame ionization, electrochemical. Then we have pumps. जयेश पाटिल प्लीज मत करिए. पंप है ना, पंप से वी हैव रेसिप्रोकेटिंग पंप एंड ऑल, कांस्टेंट प्रेशर पंप. GC में पंप नहीं होते, तो GC में कैरियर गैस होता है. वी हैव हाइड्रोजन हीलियम, है ना. देन वी हैव कॉलम. सो इन HPLC वी हैव सॉरी in HPLC we have column like pre-column and main column, है ना. In GC again we have एक ही टाइप का कॉलम होता है, बट वी हैव टेम्परेचर प्रोग्रामिंग करके वन कॉन्सेप्ट इन GC, आइसोथर्मल प्रोग्रामिंग एंड टेम्परेचर प्रोग्रामिंग. सो दिस इज हाउ यू मेक अ टेबल. तो आपका एक ही टेबल में दोनों टेक्निक्स हो जाएगा, हाई परफॉर्मेंस लिक्विड एज वेल एज गैस क्रोमैटोग्राफ. So this is how you should study your proper and if there is any miscellaneous point, just say HPLC में we have a lot of validation points like accuracy, precision, LOD, LOQ, है ना. From GC we have other concepts like what is a normal phase, what is a reverse phase, GC column, है ना. So all these things they ask you all, so you should be well versed with them as well, है ना. So IR, FTIR, what is the source in IRs? What is a detector? Bolometer, Gole cell, Nernst Globar, incandescent lamp. What is the sampling techniques? So there is one sampling technique like जिसमें nodules we have solution, है ना? So paraffin, liquid paraffin and all. These are different sampling techniques. Similarly for UV, you should know the range. आपको range भी इसके लिए भी again make a, I think so I have made a slide on this as well. I will show it to you all if I get it. Just wait. I had made one slide on this. I hope I get it right. So there is one table on UV, IR, NMR mass. It's not there. No worries. I will forward it, or I will see. This is a clinical trial ka table I was talking about. Phase 0 say phase 4. What is at which phase? How many volunteers? What is the end points? What is the time? Timing is like how many years? 1 to 3 years and all. Yeah, table. I found it. Chalo, that's great. So this is a table that you should not miss. Okay, तो ऐसा एक टेबल बना दो. It's very important that you make such kind of table because it comes in exam. So UV, IR, NMR mass, X-ray, flame photometry, atomic absorption, nephrotubidometry, और ऐसे अलग अलग कॉलम बना दो. So we have light source detectors, angle, standard, graph पे भी yes, how can I forget graph? आपकी graph से questions पक्का आते हैं. Which graph, what is on x-axis, absorbance versus wavelength, absorbance versus concentration, transmittance versus wave number. Then we have radio frequency versus field strength, m by z ratio for mass spectrometry, right? So आपको ऐसा एक table बना देना है पूरा. You can take screenshot of this. I will just properly send this table to you all if possible, है ना, अच्छे से करके, because this is blurred. So you can take this table on and study up this, है ना. So it will be useful for you, which is light source detector. ये एक ही नजर में पूरा glimpse आ गए. So अब you don't have to go back and read your notes because many a time people tell that हमने notes तो बना लिए but अब 25-20 book study कैसे करें? How do we read those books? So you can just make such one page graphs. So that was from your pharmaceutical analysis. Speaking about biochemistry and biotechnology, जो main था, right? So from this part you need to know. Okay, you need to know your biochemical pathways, right from your Krebs cycle to glycolysis to your electron transport chain. आपको पूरी नहीं पढ़नी है कौन सा 5 कार्बन. अच्छा, कैन यू टेल मी अ 5 कार्बन इंटरमीडिएट इन Krebs cycle? कैन यू टेल मी अ 5 कार्बन इंटरमीडिएट इन द Krebs cycle? कोई बता सकता है? Anybody? Yeah, everybody is sleeping. Everybody is sleeping. I hope not. Alpha ketoglutarate. So you should be well versed with those things. Then we have enzyme space. So we have enzymes for a lot of questions: hollow enzymes, apoenzymes, competitive inhibition, non-competitive inhibitions. Vitamin से ग्राफ इस पे आ जाते हैं क्वेश्चन विटामिन से. If I talk about a vitamin called cholecalciferol, so you should know कि cholecalciferol is vitamin D3. You should know that vitamin D3 के deficiency से disease causes rickets and osteomalacia. In vitamin D3 there is a steroidal ring. So three things that you need to know: the ring present in the vitamin, the name of the vitamin, I mean the synonym. There is a synonym for every vitamin. Like there's a vitamin called vitamin P, which is called permeability vitamin. It is in routine. Okay, routine करके एक plant है वो आपकी permeability बढ़ाता है blood flow की. So that is called vitamin P. Then there is vitamin H. Can somebody tell me vitamin H क्या है? Very good. Biotin. Vitamin H is biotin. So biotin is nowadays useful for a lot of hair growth problems and all as well. So this is how you study biochemistry. Cofactor का एक table. So you should know that if I talk about potassium, so potassium is a cofactor for pyruvate kinase. Selenium, it is a cofactor for glutathione peroxidase. Zinc and magnesium, they are cofactors for DNA polymerase enzyme. So आपको ऐसे link करना है coenzymes और cofactors को. It is going to help you a lot, right? And there are a lot of deficiency disease just where there is randomly questions asked. Like if I talk about L-captonuria, black urine disease. अगर मैं बात करूँ इसके अलावा, अच्छा चलो मैं एक disease का नाम लेता हूँ. Let me see how many people have studied biochemistry in depth. Can you all tell me Mecardle's disease? Mecardle's disease is caused by which enzyme? Is it muscle first? अब option भी देता हूँ, चलो मैं आपको. Muscle phosphorylase, liver phosphorylase, glycophosphorylase, or glucose dehydrogenase? Anybody? Mecardle's disease. Have you heard about this disease? Very good, excellent, excellent, Harshit, Sanchita, Mehtab, and everybody out there, whoever answered. Sanika, it is Mecardle's, it is muscle phosphorylase, M for Mecardle, M for muscle phosphorylase, right? This is how you study enzymes. Then we have carbs, proteins, and lipids. So carbs, proteins, and lipids से आपको basically पढ़ना है different types of techniques, जैसे carbs, definitions. Sorry, not definition, classification. So carbs may we have aldosis, ketosis, monosaccharide, oligosaccharide, polysaccharide. Lipids may we have simple lipids, compound lipids, conjugated lipids. Proteins we have conjugated proteins, derived proteins. So आपको example पता होना चाहिए. Like if I talk about few techniques, आपको या few terminologies, like what is mutarotation, what is an epimer. Acha, can you all tell me glucose and mannose are C2 epimers, C4 epimers? Options. What kind of epimers are glucose and mannose? Let's see. Quiz time. Sanchita, Manisha, very good, excellent. Everybody, right? C2 epimers and C4 epimers is galactose. So this is what they ask you. That's all they ask you. Then test. So Molished, Benedict, Barford, Selivanov. Sir, how much time do we have more? Felling, Tolen.
Yes, Payam, I think let's wind up in 10 minutes and
Okay,
we'll have question
sure.
answer session. After that, I'll give you a call.
Sure, sir. We'll do that. Definitely. We'll wind up the session soon. And lastly, balance the semesters and GPAT. So it is very important that, and ये common question है कि हम SEM 8, especially the students who are currently in their final SEM, how do we manage, how do we balance our semester 8 and GPAT? Trust me, GPAT को ज़्यादा value दो. In your semester 8, you have lot of easy subjects like social and preventive pharmacy, biostats का थोड़ा पढ़ना पड़ता है. Rest all elective subjects are easy. So only for biostats you study. Rest is common sense. Like social and preventive तो एकदम common sense का subject है. How will you prevent cholera and all? So semesters को less importance दो. Just pass हो जाओ, and because that is sufficient. GPAT की रैंक लोग पूछेंगे, सेमेस्टर की CGPA इतने नहीं पूछेंगे, ठीक है? So GPAT को ज्यादा वेटेज दो. Like in a ratio, if I talk about 3 hours of GPAT and 1 hour of semester, that should be ideal ratio, ठीक है? Rest is revision time, right? So in this PPT I have mentioned about complete SEM 1 में कौन से subject से कौन सा कितना पढ़ना है, all the important topics. I will be uploading this presentation on my SlideShare account also, so you can download it from there. And this is all information, और each semester wise subject wise है. हर subject में कौन सा important है, कितना पढ़ना है, कहाँ से पढ़ना है,
We will
including the
will conduct some more classes, Payam. Don't worry.
sure, I'll be more than happy to be a part of this.
Yes,
है ना?
yes, yes, definitely. We'll
And
talk about it. Yeah.
this is a page where lot of आपके लिए motivation भरा है, अपना dedication, desire, discipline, 3D think in 3D बोलते हैं ना आजकल लोग. Think in 3D is desire, dedication, discipline. ये नहीं है तो it's very difficult to crack any exam, है ना? Prioritize your work. You should know how much time is to be given in what stuff. And group, there are two categories, group discussion या individual, depends. But I was a person who was a group discussion wala, so I was more keen on reading a lot of group discussion, because in until unless I don't teach somebody, I don't get that quickly. So you can follow this part as well. And yeah, this is a image from HR Patel Institute, whereby they have included all important topics, all the subjects that you should study in एक page में. So you can please take a screenshot of this subject page now if possible. It is going to help you ahead for sure, है ना? And I think so my screen is hanged. Yeah, मेरा screen hang हो गया है. Just give me some time. Yeah.
Now, correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are my credentials. अगर आपको मुझसे कनेक्ट करना है तो आप कहाँ कहाँ कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म से मुझसे कनेक्ट कर सकते हो. This is my Instagram page, Pharma Tips and Tricks. You can join in and follow my page. This is my, ये तो बहुत पुरानी इमेज है. This is my YouTube channel. You can type my name or you can type Best Pharmacy Tips and Tricks. And उस पे वीडियोस है, प्लेलिस्ट है एक जीपैट की प्रॉपर वाली क्रैकर स्ट्रेटेजी की. तो उसमें देर आर 14 वीडियोस. अगर आपने वो 14 वीडियोस कर लिए, इट्स सफिशिएंट. एंड दिस इज माय स्लाइड शेयर पेज, पयाम वोरा 1. ठीक है, एंड दीज आर द लिंक्स. आई शेयर इट विद अजित सर. Probably he'll drop it in the description box for all, if you all. And these are my contact details. You can also join in with me on my Telegram page. And besides, CliMed को follow करो हर जगह पे, because CliMed has lot of good stuff, good opportunities, good internships, and good courses. है ना? I have seen their courses and their different internship programs that they provide. So you can connect to them and like just keep a follow up on the group. So that's it from my side. I hope कि ये session boring नहीं था and आप लोगों ने interesting थी इसको.
Thank you, Payam. Thank you very much. And guys, you can just now put your questions, and I'm going to get Payam for some more sessions for you. Don't worry.
Yeah. Just a moment. I'll answer all of those questions. I'll just get back on the screen. Yeah. Okay, so me, you are always in. Thank you. How to study pharmaceutical management? Okay, so pharmaceutical management से there are 4 domains जो questions आते हैं. Since it was a miscellaneous subject, I did not involve. But there are 4 main domains. You can write it down. One is from pricing strategy. One is from marketing strategy. One is from BCG matrix, and one is from Michael Porter's. BCG matrix, Michael Porter's, pricing strategy and marketing strategy. इसके अराउंड रिवॉल्व होगा. इसके बाहर क्वेश्चन जाने के चांसेस आर लेस. इट माइट गो एज वेल. ऑफ कोर्स आई कैन नॉट प्रॉमिस यू ऑल दैट, बट चांसेस आर वेरी लेस. है ना? नेक्स्ट अप वी हैव, देयर वाज वन मोर क्वेश्चन और समथिंग. नो. ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री डिफिकल्ट लगता है, हाउ डू वी? ओके, ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री इज समथिंग जो रट नहीं सकते. यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस. जैसे रिएक्शंस का मैंने आपको बताया टेबल, वो टेबल्स बनाओ. एंड देयर आर सो लॉट ऑफ रेडीमेड टेबल्स अवेलेबल एज वेल. इवन आई प्रोवाइड दोस टेबल्स. वो टेबल्स में आपको रिएजेंट प्रोडक्ट, जैसे वही याद रखना. आपको ये नहीं याद रखना कि सी कौन से कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में, इज इट हेज, इज इट डॉट एंड वेज स्ट्रक्चर है, नहीं. reagent product catalyst, that's it. Reagent product catalyst, all that you have to remember from the chemistry. तो उसका टेबल बनाओ, लिखो. एंड SN1 SN2 तो थियोरी सब अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, बट वो थियोरी है, राइट? सो दैट यू कैन डू. How GPAT will be useful for PharmD students and what's the scope ahead? I think so Ajit sir will be able to answer that more appropriately. So I'll just wait for that question. We'll keep that on hold.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, guys, see, you won't believe that in Nipur, Payam is there, and he must be knowing Nilakshi, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Nilaksh. Yeah.
She is the PhD right now, PhD first year
Okay.
in pharmacy practice
Yeah,
department under
correct.
Piramil sir,
Correct.
and she has done PharmD from NIMS. Okay, NIMS
Okay.
Jaipur. And she has cracked NIPER JE, and now and there are 5 more people I know that who cracked GPAT. One is our medical writer from ISF College Moga. Okay, she's working with us right now. She's intern, and in being intern, she has cracked GPAT. She is a GPAT qualifier. Okay, so there are many people who are interested. The thing is, you just have the myth that PharmDs cannot go to GPAT. If they are interested in core subjects like pharmaceutics, pharmacology, or analysis and all, they can definitely crack GPAT and do PhD directly in those subjects. Okay, so this is 100% sure that you also can give GPAT. Okay, and if you are interested in core subjects with the stipend, please go for GPAT. GPAT is not restricting PharmDs. You might be thinking there is no pharmacy practice, no pharmacotherapy, but as Payam has just told, you have a lot of things, pharmacology, complete pharmacology, ceutics, and all the things are there. All the subjects are involved. Okay, you might have. And how can you say that you did not read? Maybe you're not reading in the fourth year and fifth year, as this is completely therapeutics and all. But you have all clinical research. You have pharmacology. You read all the subjects. Okay, you read all the subjects. You read pharmaceutics in first year, right? You read all the best books as the B.Pharm people read. B.Pharm people even have only 3 4 years. I mean 3 years to study, and final year they have multiple other things, project and this, and you have 5 complete years to study, and
Absolutely.
then 1 year for internship. So you can easily crack GPAT. I'm saying that, but you guys are not interested, or you guys have the less knowledge. That's all. Okay, but
Also,
you are eligible.
also to add to that, what Ajit sir said, that there are multiple domains में जा सकते हो for sure, Sutix, pharmacy practice, and CR, clinical research. आप तो pharmacy practice में there is lot of
Correct.
importance given to clinical research, and here we have Dr.
बेटा फोन आ
Deepika
रहा
Bansal, Pramil Tiwari sir, who are they have pursued from renowned institute. So you will get a totally different idea of pharmacoepidemiology, pharmacotherapeutics, and all. And in CR, what is pharmacovigilance, how is data managed, on everything and all. So CR is also very important if we link with PharmD students for future scope. There's another question.
absolutely.
Okay. I didn't study anything for GPAT and it's giving me anxiety. Anxiety, something that we all face, something stress जो हम सब आते हैं. Anxiety जब भी हो ना, एक दिन what I would suggest, full free, do whatever you like, binge watch Netflix, घूम कर आओ, दोस्त से मिलो, खाना खा, जो ऐसी कोई चीज देख कर लो that is engrossing you one day. आपका माइंड रिफ्रेश हो जाएगा फॉर श्योर. योर हिपोकैम्पस नीड्स सम रिलीफ. मतलब आप
Yes.
पढ़ते रहो, नर्ड नहीं बनना है. वन डे रिलीफ इज फाइन.
Yes, absolutely. And ये बहुत चल रहा reels. Maybe you guys watch a lot of reels, I know. Okay, and people say that mommy is saying, where are you going? No, someone has come to mommy, and mommy, I'm going to depression. Okay, come back by the evening.
या
You know that. शाम तक आ
एब्सोल्युटली.
जाना, शाम तक वापस आ जाना. तो ऐसे ही समझो कि मम्मी कह रही है शाम डिप्रेशन से बाहर आना है बेटा.
करेक्ट.
अदरवाइज जीपेट नहीं होगा, ना ही कोई भी ऐसा कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स क्लियर कर पाओगे, राइट?
करेक्ट.
यू हैव टू फोकस.
एब्सोल्युटली. एनी
Okay, if
मोर?
guys have no more questions, then see, guys, I'm planning. Yesterday I talked to Bramil sir and multiple other people from Naipur Hyderabad and Naipur Guwahati and Naipur Hajipur. Frankly,
ओके.
I'm planning some mock tests, and I'll involve Payam. And I'm literally very much impressed when uh, I was seeing his CGPA is like, he did not do a single mistake. He got 10 out of 10 CGPA. Can you understand? So how much determined he is? How much determined he is? Can you people think of?
राइट.
So where are you? Why you are sleeping? Huh? Why you are watching reels? He's telling you have to read in the bus also. You cannot waste your time in the bus also. What
एब्सोल्युटली.
are you doing? No, he's absolutely right, guys. He's absolutely right. I know I have cracked Manipal when I came to Manipal. I did not crack the GPAT, but I cracked Manipal for Farm D post baccalaureate. I remember that time, years back, decades back. Okay, decade back almost, when I cracked Manipal. So I know how tough these things are. I never gave the GPAT and all, but guys, I know. Okay, and you have to be, 3D definitely if you want to crack the things. And I'm very sure I'm talking to Payam after this, and we'll involve him in some certain free good things, so I can at least get 5 10 students who crack the GPAT, upcoming GPAT, guys, from you. Okay, we are coming up
Definitely.
with
And
very
sir,
important.
I'll just 1 minute. They have been asking for link. I'll just drop in my YouTube link and my WhatsApp group link.
Sure,
You, if
sure,
you are
sure.
connected with CliMed group, of course, you'll be connected with me indirectly for sure. But besides that, if you want to connect, you can. This is my GPAT. This is my YouTube channel ki link. You can.
Guys, I suggest you to go through his GPAT things, as I can see how efficiently he did. He must be describing everything. So if you are going through at least 10 14 the number of videos he's telling, that must be helpful. Okay, so please go ahead. And we are getting him. I'm getting him 4 more sessions for you before this
Sure,
GPAT.
sure,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Take care.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you
Very.
so much.
Thank
All
you.
the best to all
Thank
of
you.
you all. Thank you, Ajit sir, for
Thank
the
you. Thank
opportunity
you. Thank you, Payam. Thank you very much.
for
Thank you.
calling
Thank
me.
you, everyone. Thank you. Take care, guys. Have a good day.